When do you know if sibling rivalry has just gone too far? We know the sibling rivalry is normal, it's natural, can actually be really, really healthy for kids. But when it gets physical, that's a really good time for parents to step in and set limits. I do, however, think that some physical play is really normal and healthy, and roughhousing from time to time, particularly for boys. But I want parents to set very firm guidelines around it. First off, I ask them, is this a fair match? We want to think of siblings, say two brothers or two sisters. Sometimes brother and sister, they have to be very physically the same. There also have to be very strict guidelines around what kind of physical roughhousing there is. We also want it to be happening during a certain time of the day, to make sure someone's at home, make sure that it's in a certain part of the house, make sure also that it has very, very specific rules as to when someone doesn't feel comfortable. I ask parents to use the tap out rule. It's very, very simple. All you do is make sure that each child knows that if they feel like it's gotten too far, they're wrestling, for example, a simple tap out, tap on the back, the knee, anywhere. The rule is the play stops immediately. This way, it keeps everyone feeling safe. We should also know that roughhouse play should never be a substitute for when kids have issues with one another and that they're playing out their jealousy for either parent through one another physically. Absolutely should never be allowed. So I do want parents to keep an eye on sibling rivalry, but I also don't want them to micromanage and step in every moment. I want them to set those boundaries. I want them to set guidelines. I want them not to interfere with normal, lower level types of sibling rivalry, which are healthy. But I want them to be very, very clear that aggression, violence, has absolutely no place in the sibling relationship. If you find that your kids are involved in a lot of physical, over the top, sometimes violent behavior with one another, it really means that there's been a loss of power from the top down in home. It means that you as a parent have lost control. It means that the rules and the boundaries are gone. It also may be that they're imitating aggression that may be coming out in you and or with your spouse or partner. So you want to be very upfront and honest with yourself. It may be that if you're seeing violence among siblings or really over the top sibling rivalry, there may be something deeper, bigger going on at home, in the marital relationship, in the family, and make sure you seek counseling. Make sure you're honest with yourself on that. Otherwise, as I've said before, the best thing to do, very simply, is if you feel at some point that the sibling rivalry goes too far, then you put an end to it. Now, when kids are around the same age, it's very easy. Say kids are 6 or 7, 7 or 8, somewhere within a 2 to 3 year range, it's very easy to say, look, the noise level in the house has gotten too far. I'm hearing nasty things between the two of you. In this house, that's unacceptable. I want the two of you right now to go to your rooms, or I want you to go to this room and I want you to go to that room. If either of you gives me a hard time with that, I'll double the amount of time that you have to spend away from one another. And then I want you two to come back and let's see if you can do it better. It's your choice. And then stop and let them carry it out. The goal here is that you're not going to be pitting yourself against one or the other child. You're not going to have one child create a situation where you look like you're favoring them. Instead, what you're saying is, look, I can